जनरली जैसे जब पुलिस वेरिफिकेशन में जाते हैं एक आदमी पीछे से होता है देखता है दिस इज द गाय लाइन अप में दिस इज द गाय सीरियल में ऐसे ही चाहिए होता है एक्चुअली
But Vaibhav, I would like to give one data also for
Yes,
people who think that insurance is fraud. In 23-24, 84,000 crore worth of claims were paid by health insurance companies.
So everyone knows everything. So everyone's in a position to help others. Ki I've got this problem, so I know how to solve it.
You see your hostel room. It's a very, very small room. But you don't know, in 6 months that becomes your home.
I love 2-3 things outside work I have.
which can be shared on a public platform. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Life Uncovered with Vaibhav. We have got a very special episode today. Thanks to a lot of questions which will be taken up soon by me. We have our senior team at Inka coming and answering your questions and also talking about our life stories, about why we are here, what we have built, why we are building, what's the future looking like. I'll start from this side on my right because I'm a right-hander. Or even if I go in alphabetic order, it will be like this. I'll be out of it. We have Abhay. Abhay is our co-founder and chief operating officer. Abhay and I have known each other for close to 10 years now. Actually, a lot of relationships for Gen Zs and millennials don't last that long, but hamara chal raha hai abhi bhi. Official relationship.
Yeah.
We have Ankit in the house. Tejesh will have to wait. We have Ankit in the house. Ankit is our co-founder and chief product officer. Ankit and I very briefly worked together in a company called HDFC Life. If you don't know about HDFC Life, then definitely you have to watch this podcast. It's one of the largest life insurance companies. Ankit is from Bits Pilani. Ankit has led a lot of products and new initiatives at Tiny Owl, at a gaming platform. Games
24/7.
Games 24/7. I get slightly confused. I'm so sorry. Games 24/7. And then he was the co-founder and CEO of India's largest PM community-based startup called the PM School. He exited from there and we were chit-chatting last year. Actually, beginning of this year, so last financial year, if I may say, and we said, why don't we come together and he could join the journey. So that I'm very happy he accepted that thought of ours. So that's him. We have got Tejesh here. Tejesh has worked with Citrus Pay, with PayU, with ClearTax and a few other startups in between. He is the startup guy. He is also the guru, if I may say, in a lot of other things outside tech also. He is a man who has lived his life the way it should be. If you are someone who is wanting to live a life and still have a decent professional life, he is the man you should contact. Forget Inka, forget tech, forget everything. If you believe in work-life balance, he is the man. Balancing. And I think I've known him for now close to 3.5 years. He was with us at Mahila Money as well. He is leading the tech. He's our CTO. And very few people would know that he at one point of time would live in a new city every week. He would travel on Sunday, go to the other city on Sunday, entire week in that city in an Airbnb kind of a situation, working during the day, exploring the city in the night, exploring the life in the night, and over the weekends, and then travel again. He, in fact, at the peak of his performance, technically, quit the organization where he was working and he explored life. He is also actively into surfing. He is a great guy when it comes to a lot of tech, but non-tech as well. I've spoken for a long time because I've got 3 people to talk to and a few questions which is on his laptop, not mine. Over to you. Abhay, thanks a lot for agreeing. Ankit and Tejesh as well, but because I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
When you came out of Exile Bhubaneswar, what were your thoughts? Why did you choose SBI Life, or was it कि और job कोई नहीं मिला तो चलो insurance कर लेते हैं?
Yeah, very interesting. And what happened at my time, SBI Life was the first company that actually came in. And this happened in the GD preparation we were doing. And that time, the HR asked a question. And we have around 50 people sitting there. But I was the only one who raised the hand. And that is when I knew I'm selected. So when I went to interview round and HR, both the HRs were there, and the one HR was telling to another, oh, this is the guy. And very easy question were asked to me.
जनरली जैसे जब पुलिस वेरिफिकेशन में जाते हैं एक आदमी पीछे से होता है देखता है दिस इज द गाय
लाइनअप में
हमें दिस इज द गाय सेल्स में ऐसे ही चाहिए होता है एक्चुअली
And the first thing they told me that we will post you at Northeast. And I said, sir, I love Port Blair.
Oh,
तो तुमने
you chose Port Blair?
बट पोर्ट ब्लेयर नॉर्थ ईस्ट में डाल रखा था
No,
नहीं,
I want to go to Port Blair.
but you were posted at Port Blair?
No, I was not. I was posted at Trivandrum, the city I still love. But yeah, that's how I was.
Insurance companies and tech, you have been very blessed in
Blessed
enjoying
is the
journey.
right word, I think.
So Ankit, when you came out of BITS Pilani, or rather, let me take a step back.
Okay.
When you reached BITS Pilani, how was your hostel life? What were your thoughts? क्या हुआ पहले दिन, पहले हफ्ता, पहला महीना? Whatever your initial memories are.
I think the first day you go with a certain expectation कि hostel would be a very, very nice, comfy sort of a housing sort of a thing. But then when you go there, it's a 100-year-old building. I'm sure now it's improved.
I thought you were saying now it is 115 years.
Ankit is not that old.
नहीं,
You know,
जब 100 साल तक 15 साल तो हो गया होगा ना गुस्से में.
15. Okay.
15.
Yeah.
you would have seen, hostels in movies, etc., in Hollywood movies, but then you go there and you realize it's very different. And that's what the feeling was. ये तो बहुत ही different है.
जौहर.
Yes. Yes. I think that's the expectation with
That
this.
was the expectation. Nice.
कि
Not
राहुल
even that,
राज,
even if it's 50% of that, that's
Yes.
good enough. And you see your hostel room. It's a very, very small room. But you don't know, in 6 months that becomes your home. You love spending time there, right? You love spending time there more than you love spending time at home. And that's the change, which I felt in the first 6 months. The first month, obviously, it was a cultural shock for me, so to say.
Were you sharing a room or was it a single occupancy?
Luckily, for the first time in about 30 or 40 odd years, the first years were given a single room.
Okay.
And we had a hostel adjacent to the 4th year's hostel. But we were in the first year. The 4th year were always scared of coming to our hostel.
Why is that?
उल्टा है.
Ulta हो गया ना? I thought कि that would be a
Because
good.
in that year, I think anti-ragging policies were introduced. This is back in 2006 or 7, something like this. And they
You
were
were
enforced.
7-11 batch.
I'm 7 to 11, yes.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't come to our hostel, even though we were just like 10 meters or 20 meters away from their hostel. Yeah.
But you were not ragged?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you that.
I used to rag my batchmate. My batchmate would take me because, again, I was, for the lack of a better word, slightly healthy and looked, let's say, slightly senior.
Like a senior, huh?
Yeah. So my batchmate would take me. चलो आज इसकी ragging करते हैं. So in my own hostel, I would start ragging my batchmates, and later they would, they realized that I'm their batchmate. Obviously, we became good friends after that.
In a succinct way.
भौकाल मचा दिया.
भौकाल बचा दिया. तो भौकाल से एक्चुअली अभी एक एपिसोड आया भी है रिसेंटली विद अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन पुनीत कृष्णा जैसे दुनिया उनको जानती है. एंड आई थिंक भौकाल वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई हर्ड देयर. तो आप यूपी में काफी रेगुलर यूज है वर्ड भौकाल और
Yeah, it's a word which you use if you've done something great.
Yeah.
Right? If you've made a unicorn, भौकाल मचा दिया.
Oh,
Of course.
You can use it for anything. It's a feeling, right? आज तो भौकाल ही हो गया.
अपने आईपीओ में भौकाल होगा.
अपने IPO में भौकाल हो जाएगा.
Awesome. That, so Tejesh, sorry, I'll jump on to this. Yes. I have to take permission. यहाँ पे सब सीनियर मैनेजमेंट है. कोई प्रोडक्ट रुक गया मेरा, तुमने सर्वर डाउन कर दिया, डिलीट कर दिया डेटाबेस, देन हाँ ये ठीक.
तो कुछ मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता अभी.
Done. So Tejesh, as a leader of the tech unit, and like we joke around ki Jai Maheshmati, and we are an Insurtech company. How do you make sure that the entire team is motivated, performing well, and at the same time, I know you are. If there is anything as a concept of toxicity, you are absolutely on the other side of the spectrum. So how do you make sure that that happens? And before that, we also spoke about something yesterday, and it's not on camera, so I'm just repeating so that people who are watching us can be aware of it. You have worked in multiple organizations, which I just mentioned a few, and there are a few which I did not mention. And I have worked also in some Insurtech or maybe fintech, if I may say, startups, I don't see anywhere this kind of tech performance when it comes to delivery, ownership, and most importantly, helping each other. And there is no clear. So sometimes I feel X person is doing Y job, but then I realize X plus 2, 3 other are also doing that Y job.
Yes.
So how you as a leader have made sure that happens?
I'll give a lot of credit to you and everyone in the team that it's basically the culture you're talking about, right? Technical skills are anyways, you know what they are, where they learned, and we get it in the interviews. But the culture you've set up, which is something which you're also setting up, is that everyone is helping each other. That's the culture. There is no particular rules. You will be front and you'll be back, and there's nothing like that. With easier. So I've always been Vidiki, I don't want to do front end, so you'll do front end now. So everyone knows everything. So everyone's in a position to help others. I've got this problem, so I know how to solve it. So that's the thing. Even though it's a remote and sometimes it's a challenge, but can I mention that? That's something which we somehow had managed. And culture-wise, I didn't have to do anything special. We'll follow this. I didn't have to do anything. It's the same thing which everyone is flowing with. I just continued the same thing.
Similar thing is happening with Ankit's team also. But with Ankit's team, with due credit to him, but the size is smaller.
Yeah.
Your size as a team is way larger. And in many organizations, I've seen that this person is front end, this person is back end, this person is doing only this person. You are managing or you're making sure, and okay, you can give credit to the three of us with respect to org culture and everything, but I think it's largely your skill also, because you have worked in so many places, you would not have seen this kind of bonding. How have you done that?
This is a choice.
I'll tell you why I'm asking you this. One, there's a question similar, but two, I know a lot of tech founders who would be wanting to know, how do you make sure that this happens? Especially all the founders I speak to who have got tech related startups, they have a problem of attrition. They have a problem of compensation being too lopsided towards certain field of tech. A lot of other tech related problems. Manpower is the problem. Skill I have never heard as a problem. So how have you tackled that zero attrition, great resources, bonding and everything? So that's
and that too, almost we are going to conclude 2 years since we recruited the first person.
Yeah.
And there's zero attrition.
Yeah.
That again, right? That I'll give the credit to culture, everything we have. It's
I would also want to add after you.
But the particular thing which you said, that's conscious choice I always made. No one is going to be specific to front end.
Correct.
Back end. Some of them are predominantly working in one particular side, but that's something I wanted to be when I started my career. When I'm not able to do something, or I know this but I don't know that, I wanted to do that. So that way I have the capacity to control everything. If I'm building something, I'll building end to end. I know the front end, I know the back end. So any issue I don't have to say ki arey ye mera issue nahi hai uska. You know everything. You can do front end to back end, complete end to end set. That's what the skill I wanted everyone to be. Basically, I wanted everyone to be a person who can build their own product. Tomorrow, if they want to do it on themselves, they can open their laptop and do it. They don't have to say ki mujhe front end aata hai, I need someone for the back end, or I don't know this. I don't want that. That's somehow something I wanted to be when I was in my career, started something, and that's the same thing. And like I said, I keep on saying, I'm lucky that everyone who came in were open to that. They were not key. This is my skill. I'll stick to it. They never complained. Everyone was ready to do it, and everyone now has learned it.
I'll just add one line and give it to you.
Yeah.
What I find as a non-tech person, what I find is it's very close to a residency program where people have finished their jobs, or rather finished their education, picking up a job, but in that job they are also being groomed. So I think what you have done in a good way, now I realized while talking to you, I didn't know it maybe 10 minutes back, is you're practically running a university with internship kind of a thing. Because everyone is not only doing their job but learning something more. And till the time I think they're learning something more, they are growing and they want to stick because they are enjoying their work. But then it also means that at hiring they knew that they will be getting into that.
Yes, that was clear always. Even though if someone is particularly saying I'm good at backend, maybe the interview was mostly focused on backend, but they knew always they're getting into ki I'll come and do everything. So that's something they were prepared maybe during the interviews, but something I made sure that happens.
Ankit, you want to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one part is obviously skill, which you guys said that never-ending, learning opportunities do drive people.
Right.
But at least as an organization, what four of us, including, and Mrudula, she's not here, but what we made sure is that we treat people as adults, right? So that becomes a very important aspect of how you talk to your teammates. I mean, if you look at our org, the average age would be 24, 25. Most of them are Gen Zs, right? people keep cribbing about Gen Zs don't work, but I'm very proud of the team which we have, right? So at least all 5 of us make sure that we treat our teammates as adults. And when you treat them with as adults, you give them that respect. You don't talk down to them, right? Because you come from you have probably 10 plus years of experience. Vaibhav has 25 plus years of experience. Again, I have 15 years of similar with Abhay. It's very easy for us to come with a bias or come with a domain expertise and say कि यार ये ऐसे नहीं होगा, ये ऐसे ही होगा. But then when you leave them and you tell them that you are accountable for this is your baby. Why don't you go and execute it? If it's wrong somewhere, we'll course correct you. But we'll treat you as adults. We'll treat you with respect, right? And that's what culture is. And I think someone great in the Indian ecosystem has said, I don't remember who, but culture is when the founders or the leadership is not looking at you, what you're doing then.
Yeah.
And especially given the scenario which we operate in, it becomes all the more important, right? Another thing, Ajin, which all, at least the 2 of you make sure is you guys over communicate.
Yeah.
Right. And that's very important.
Yes. Everyone's on the same page.
Everyone's
Everyone
on
knows
the
what
same
is
page.
happening.
We communicate a lot,
Yeah.
right?
They know why we're building it, what is going to come next.
Absolutely.
The picture is there, so they know what the importance of what they're building.
It's very important for founders in the initial stage, and I'm sure in the later stages as well. Just keep telling everyone that this is the vision, right? You can be flexible on how you achieve it, but yeah, this is the vision. We have to stick to it,
Right.
And you reiterate it. Kudos to you. Reiterate it every week, right? And that's very important. And those values percolate, to the broader team also.
So that way, I've been very lucky. Barring 1 or 2 bosses of mine in a very long career, which you just mentioned, and that certainly gives away my age. I've been blessed with, as possible, he's not given my Aadhaar number and other things, but otherwise details are out. I've been blessed with good bosses, and each boss, in fact, sometimes bad bosses also teach you what to do and what not to do. Be toxicity, which Abhay would love to talk about. Having said that, I just want to share something with everyone, especially people who are watching. And Ankit mentioned, few of us will keep on mentioning about 5 when they'll see 4 baithe, Holy Trinity type, who's that secret Santa kind of a situation. There we have Mrudula, who's our Chief of Customer Service. Actually, she's, from a designation perspective, Chief of Customer Experience Officer, but everything when it comes to experience and service and everything gets onto her. She's not with us today. She's back in the office taking up some calls and customer engagements. So she is not here. But in absence, also we are saying a hi to you. In respective cameras, we have said. But Mrudula, we all would have loved you being here. But we'll keep on talking about you and your work. So we are missing you.
Yeah, she has the crucial part.
The most crucial. The backbone is with her.
Absolutely. So I always say that the tech team, which is you, is the brain. The product team and the marketing and everything which you're managing is the heart. But service is the spinal cord.
Yes.
And
here,
Abhay and I are just hands and legs to make sure we keep on moving.
Yeah. And here I would like to say one thing about Mrudula is, and in fact for Tina and Aparna, these 3 people, is I don't have to look into operations because Mrudula is there and taking care of everything. I don't have to look into insurance relationship or other things or finances that Tina is handling, and I don't have to look into the research that Aparna is doing. These 3, they know their work very well. And I am lucky in that case that only if a firefight comes to me.
Subtly plug product placement हुआ है. So let me tell others, इस organization में there is no one who is reporting to you. लोग आते हैं, but छीन लिए जाते हैं. So 1-2 नाम just लिए थे, they had come. They were supposed to work with me, but अबे क्या करोगे? आगे कर दे तो. So because अभी नहीं मैं बोला है, so I will also add. 1-2 नाम आपने लिए हैं. There are few more who are doing a phenomenal. Well, everyone is doing phenomenal job, but something which I want to share, and both of you would have realized, I have not come across a single person till now in my life, especially official life, who can work as much as this guy works. So
that's also one of the questions, I guess.
I don't know. I कुछ question है कि अबे कैसे काम कर लेता है इतना?
Break कब लेता है?
Break कब लेता है? Okay.
When is the off switch?
Yeah.
I can add one more point.
Please.
I think one of the other crucial aspect of you mentioned attrition is which is low, which is we are very lucky to have. And I mean, I hope it remains zero, close to zero. Is that we also hire people who are very, very young and very initial in their careers.
Yeah.
Right. We love hiring them.
Yeah.
The benefit or the advantage it gives to us is we can mold them according to our culture. They are very unblemished. They haven't seen the, let's say, whatever the jaded part of life. They haven't been through bad bosses yet. Most of them, 90% of them. Hopefully we are good bosses. The team is the team is watching this. But yeah, that's also an added benefit. Like I think one of the good things about tech team or product or operations is you come as an intern. You show you show us a skill, and then eventually you get an offer, and it helps us in molding you in our culture. And we have that way we are lucky to have a good culture.
So amongst the bosses which I mentioned, culture has been very important. But Satish, all of you have met him, Mr. Satish Pillai.
I'm a fan.
Sorry, you are a fan. I think all of us are fans.
Everyone is.
You are the biggest one. That's a separate story. You blush when you hear his name.
No. Not that fan.
Fair enough. So, but you love talking to him. You admire his way and everything. But he always used to say, although he also states it's not his line, but it's about who speaks to you on those lines. That culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Absolutely.
If you have a great culture, that's the only way you can build a company. And although we'll come to the questions, so एक चीज before we get into the questions मैं बोलना चाहता था कि मैं अकेला ही चला था जाने में मंजिल लोग जुड़ते गए कारवां बनता गया
क्या बात है
the story the reason I'm saying culture because जब मैंने शुरू किया था day one which was April May of 23 and then Abhay and I joined and Tejesh, Gaurav were there. एक करके पूर्वा थी, पूरा है अभी भी. And we started and you joined the journey.
Arbaz was our first training. Yeah.
I think no one knows. Arbaz was our trainee जब company भी established नहीं हुई.
Yes, we didn't have website also.
IIT जोधपुर से he was doing. हाँ, no one knows. Only Abhay and I know. कोई भी नहीं था उस समय. He was doing a primary level research, design and everything. We were known insurance पड़ोसी.
Yeah.
So all those things he was helping us.
Okay.
वो लोगो था छतरी का और सब उसने बनाया था. लाल खूनी वेबसाइट थी हमारी. नहीं वो उसने नहीं बनाई. अब जो हम कर सकते थे हमने कर लिया. इनफैक्ट हम जब पहली बार एक इन्वेस्टर से मिले थे, he was not an investor, he was a very dear friend of mine, he was the CEO of a fund. But क्योंकि दोस्त था, we studied at IE together, so I said Abhay and I met कि भाई एक बार देख ले, नाम नहीं लूँगा उसका. तो उसके ये क्या है, आप मारने के लिए आए हो या बचाने के लिए हो? मैंने कहा नहीं है तो बचाने के लिए, बट क्या हो गया? कहते लाल कुछ ज्यादा नहीं है.
वैभव भाई,
it was bleeding red. वैभव भाई,
that's one of the reasons I decided कि आना जरूरी है.
ये क्या कर रहे हैं? प्रोडक्ट तो सोच ठीक है. So that's that. Now we'll start with the questions which we have got. I'll follow the chronological order जिसमें आया है. On that I want to hog the limelight. पहला क्वेश्चन है बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एंड आई थिंक काफ़ी आगे सारे इंटरेस्टिंग से लग रहे हैं. व्हाट वाज द आइडिया बिहाइंड क्रेडिट ब्यूरो डेटा बीइंग यूज्ड फॉर रिकमेंडेशन ऑफ इंश्योरेंस? दिस इज अ वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. इनफैक्ट एक्चुअली तेजेश और मैं जब पहली बार मिले तब हमारी भी बात हुई थी सिमिलर. उसकी थोड़ी हिस्ट्री है. Abhay and I are part of insurance team at CIBIL. I was the India head for the insurance practice at CIBIL, and till the time I joined the bureau, I also was skeptical कि क्या है यार, ये मजाक है क्या?
Even I was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when we did join, we started building insurance companies, both life and general, contributed their data to us. We got close to 75 lakh plus life insurance policy details.
Okay.
We got close to 1.5 crore general insurance policy details, which were health and motor.
Yeah.
So we had close to 2.5 crore policy details. When I say policy details, and that'll take a minute because this is very important for people to understand, it had which day was the case logged in, who was the customer, is he still alive, is he still paying on time, has the policy been lapsed, has the claim been paid, were there ever any claims, were there any motor damage? This is entire complete history of the policy was with us. And especially what happens in health and in motor, and which you now know, Tejesh, viewers may not know, it's a 1-year policy.
Yes.
Whereas life is a long-term policy. So long-term, you see whether the person has continued to pay. In general, what you see is, has the person stayed with you or quoted? So all the data came. And we married it on the credit bureau data. Credit bureau has got close to 55 crore Indians on the bureau. And we took out the variables.
Yes.
Which variable has got what kind of weightage. And we built scores which were, for example, one of the score was known as True Risk Life, TRL, which was globally approved by RGA, which is one of the largest reinsurance company, Reinsurance Group of America. There was a white paper published by Munich Re also, which is a global giant in reinsurance, on True Risk Life.
Yes.
How credit-based mortality predictor can predict mortality experience of a pool. Again, it's not that Tejesh is getting a good score or a bad score, something will happen. If Tejesh is falling in a pool of category of risk, will that have an impact?
I have a question. This was the first time I think something like this
first
has happened.
time it happened in India. It was happening in developed economies, which was brought to a Indian market.
Okay, it was already happening there.
It is still happening there.
I'm sure.
In India, it got paused because of certain regulatory requirements.
Okay.
But the models work.
Of course.
And it's published, it's clear, documented evidence is there. So we said, Abhay and I, when we started building, we said, why not actually do it?
Yeah.
And only few of us in the country know what has an impact, because they just also, from a tech and a product perspective, Ankit, it's very easy to create a score or a model for your company customers. So if I am company A or bank A or online distributor B, I will know a lot about my set of customers. So let's say I'm an online platform called ABC or a bank called ABC. All the customers I would have where I would do this credit-based model would be of my set of customers. So that means if I'm bank ABC, all the customers who are bank ABC type of customer, I will never be able to understand the non-bank customers.
Yes.
But when we took the data from insurance company, it was online customer acquisition, agency customer acquisition, bank customer acquisition, direct.
So you had that data as well.
The entire
how
data.
the user was policy.
Exactly.
Nice.
So all that data when massaged in the right way through very interesting things.
That must have been an interesting project to work on. I would love to, now that it's already happening, but first time you're doing it in India must have been really interesting.
It was super interesting.
To see the kind of data
it actually took around 15 months for us to massage the data, get out of the field. And funny thing, it took us around 8-9 months. Abhay and I both spent a lot of time making actuaries of insurance companies and reinsurance companies to understand. They are the smartest minds to understand. But when they understood, it was definitely a great product. So we are not underwriting, by the way, at Inka. What we only do is, because we do some kind of primary underwriting, we then recommend people what is the ideal cover. Instead of 4 of us getting the same product recommendation, we say, okay, Abhay, we have done kind of adjustment. This is the best product suited to you with this sum assured. Ankit, this is the best product suited to you for this sum assured. Otherwise, what happens is, when I was at HDFC, I was the head of digital and emerging ecosystem, and my partners, when they would log in term, we had a very low issuance rate. When I say low, it would hover around 65-66%. Now I've heard it's even slightly lower, but it would hover around 65. So that means out of 100 cases that where the person has paid the money, given the documents, everything is done, still 35% have to be rejected because of some wrong recommendation. Now, if I can reduce it, at Inka, you know the data, both of you also know the data, our rejection rates are in single digit.
Yes.
Very randomly, and those are pure health conditions also, not financial. We have not had a single decline till date because of financial reasons.
Correct.
So hence, it's super important to use the credit bureau data. Also, one clear thing over here, we do not use the credit score. A lot of people get confused with credit score and credit data. They are very different things. And lastly, when we pull the credit score, rather we pull the credit report, we are doing a soft pull with the consent of the customer, which does not impact his or her credit score or credit report in any way. So we have taken all those precautions in mind. We also follow RBI guidelines of purging the data rightly, storing the data with all the protections. So all RBI, IRDA guidelines are also taken into consideration.
And
Aim is to do the right thing for the customer.
Yes.
we are regularly getting audited as well.
Absolutely.
Following all this as well. So.
Absolutely. Okay, next interesting question. And this I'll take for both of you, whichever wants to answer. I think Abhay would have, because this is his first startup, so to say, as a founder.
Yeah.
Ankit, you've still done. So the question is, how has this entrepreneurial journey or this entrepreneurship changed you as a person?
Okay, very interesting question. So I would say I was, even though today also I'm learning, but earlier I used to do what my bosses would expect or would want me to do. But today I have to decide which way we should go, right? So the kind of responsibility that I have, and then the kind of pressure that I have to run the operation day to day in the company, is something I see that is the thing that has changed being an entrepreneur, first time entrepreneur.
Very, very interesting and very thoughtful, I would say. Ankit, next one to you.
Sure.
What is the most important factor in building a successful startup?
I think one of the most important factor in building a successful startup is essentially execution, right? The other day we were
discussing
Twitter.
this. Yeah.
Exactly. Last night only.
Last night only,
Yeah.
There was a poll on
It
Twitter,
was a Twitter poll.
on X, basically. What do you think is the most important? Asked by some, renowned entrepreneur, I think.
Yes.
What is the most important in building a successful venture? One was execution, the other was idea, third was timing. I think execution beats the other two, hands down, right? And when you execute every day, it compounds after a few years, in a few months, and eventually you realize that you are successful, right? Yes. And that's what I feel: execution, and obviously the right team. You have to have the right team to execute it, and sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you are maybe not lucky, but yeah, you have to keep trying. That's the idea.
Very interesting.
We are very
and
lucky.
Grateful that way.
In that way, we are very lucky.
Yeah.
I would say.
Tejesh, there are multiple questions for you, but luckily a few of them you have already answered about
Thank you.
what do you look at when you're hiring people, is it technical skills and things like that. There's another question which I think we have not spoken of. If you were 25 today and wanted to build a startup outside of insurance sector, what kind of venture would you be most likely excited to build in current times? So not 25 when you were 25. Today, if you're 25 and it's a non-insurance startup, what would you like to build?
Insurance anyways was not my choice, but not my first choice. That is obviously after meeting you, I came into insurance world. But I would be building something around some social media or something like a social networking kind of a site. Right. Maybe not the existing ones, but something definitely B2C. I want to build something which affects a lot of people. Like I also said the last time we were discussing, build something from India which is going to impact the whole world. But like we are saying, the social media, the content creation, all these are making so much of impact. And I think that's going to continue for a while. So I'll be doing something in that. I don't have any specific idea. Obviously, this is the first time hearing the question. So something in that space I would try to build. Obviously, AI has come in. I am 25 at this age, no? So AI obviously will be a major part of that.
So social AI startup.
Some kind of a mix of that.
Fair. I'll pick next for me so that all of us are covered. Few of them are for me also. I'm just picking one of them to start with. When founding this company, which is Inka, you must have established a timeline for key milestones. Do you believe you are on track, or have you made any significant challenges, take away some of your problems, or what do you look at? So, I would say we are meeting most of the timelines. I would not say we are 100% on timeline for everything. Tejesh is smiling because he's thinking of Primeka project and few other projects. Those were not the timelines when I was building the company.
Yeah.
So as organization, what I was looking at, getting a corporate agency license,
Yes.
Starting distribution, acquiring X number of customers, looking at other milestones, larger milestones, if I may say. Most of them are absolutely on time. Few months left or right, if I may say. One or two things actually have got deferred. But what we have also realized is we have picked up a lot of new challenges which we had not thought of. And Abhay and I, when we thought of a lot of milestones in August and September of 23, largely Tejesh, we have met. When we met also, I think in October first time and then moved on. Most of the milestones, some milestones definitely have got deferred. But then what I've realized is a lot of new milestones have also got added. So I think that's the thought is you create some milestones, you try and meet most of them. If some are getting deferred, keep on following. You may drop off some of the milestones because your journey may take a slight. That's the learning. But I don't think there's any significant milestone which we have missed since inception.
Yeah, thanks to Mukesh ji first.
Yes, Mukesh ji taught us that most important thing is to have 100% tech in-house.
In-house,
When people call me, हमारे को ये करना है वो करना है tech, I just say नहीं हमारा pure in-house है, हम in-house ही रहेंगे. फिर भी अगर शौक है बात करने का, ये तेजेश से बात कर लो.
बात कर लो.
ये आप नहीं करोगे तो अच्छा होगा क्योंकि मेरे को फालतू में कॉल्स आते रहते हैं. मैं भी वही बोलता हूँ.
मैं बैठा था तेजेश के साथ ही और स्पीकर में फोन था. Somebody similarly
ईमेल आईडी दे दिया.
हाँ कर रहा था.
दे दिया ईमेल आईडी फिर.
ईमेल आईडी तो ले लो यार, उसको पता होना चाहिए कौन. तेजस नहीं है, तेजेश है. A lot of you please call him Tejas. That stop calling that. He is Tejesh. उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मेरे को फर्क पड़ता.
Actually, Tejesh, you can just tell them you have bigger fish to fry.
वाह क्या बात है. तल दो उसको.
Vidhi is here already in the process of doing that.
Oh, I thought you were saying because she is vegetarian. Next to you, Ankit, which is around rising health and fitness issues today.
Wow.
Hence for you. Given our, a lot of people are working from home in our organization and it's kind of remote, disturbed work-life setup is what he is saying, or maybe she is saying. Or maybe this person is at 100% remote, whatever the case be. But this person is saying that today a lot of people post-COVID are in a situation where they work out of home. That leads to people working at odd hours, not the full office hours. Sometimes they step out, do a lot of things. How can they create some kind of group level physical activity in remote organizations, work from home? Or how do they make sure that they are having a healthy lifestyle?
I think it's irrespective of whether you are working out of office or working from home, right?
I agree.
And I understand if you're working from home, you are disconnected from your colleagues, you might end up working late in the night or on your own hours, not because we're pushing you to work in the night or on your own hours, right? The idea is to, at least what I do for myself is two things which I've done for myself for the last, 3-4 years is I try to pack 3 or 4 or 5 days in which I go for a workout. I had a cult membership till about 6 months back. I used to go to a cult center 4 or 5 days every week. I love cult fit. But then I moved to a certain location where there's no cult. So I try to go for a run 2 or 3 days in a week. And I also try to hit the gym 1 or 2 times a week and very basic exercise, but just get like 40-45 minutes of exercise in a day that refreshes your mind. Every time I'm feeling anxious or I'm worried and I go for a workout or I go for a gym, or go for a run, my attitude suddenly changes after an hour. I'm sure you would have also noticed if you go for a surf, your attitude just changes after that time. Another thing which has also helped me is therapy. If you're feeling slightly worried or anxious because you're not able to communicate with your employees, you're overthinking something, therapy definitely helps. Having a support group really helps because you don't have the support group of if you're working remote, let's say a tech team is working remote, you might not have the physical presence of your colleagues to just vent out maybe at times. So I would highly recommend seeking a therapist. So that keeps you mentally also healthy, and just exercise. Just go for a walk maybe. That would also greatly help. And with these kind of activities, it helps you focus more on your work, right? That's what I feel.
Abhay, question for you. I think this person on Reddit has not disclosed who, but I think he knows you pretty well.
Okay. Interesting.
What does Abhay enjoy doing outside of work?
Okay. I I love 2-3 things outside work. I have
Which can be shared on a public platform.
so I love cooking. I
Not
love,
people, but food.
of course,
Yeah.
I love cooking Hyderabadi biryani. Both chicken and mutton, they are my favorite. I also love doing some astrology practices. And I also love seeing what India is doing in defense sector. So these are the 3 things that other than work I really focus on every day.
Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely. Very interesting, very apt also. Next question. Like I said, there are some insurance related questions which I can answer, but you are equally capable. I would want you to answer. Can NRIs take term plan? One.
Yeah.
And second is, should one opt for return of premium rider on term plan? I have a view on the second one, but I would want your view. First is a very clear answer. So
Yeah, so of course NRIs can take the term plan, and there are some insurance companies which offer video medical for these customers up to a certain limit. And I can tell you, we have few customers who are early customer of us who are NRIs, and they went through the processes. It was smooth. So yes, to answer this question, NRIs can take the term plan. The second question was.
return of premium rider. Should we opt for? Why should we opt if we have to?
So, I have very biased view in this for return of premium rider. I believe that insurance should be taken to cover the basic risk, and here the term plan is fear of dying early. That is the risk. When you are investing in insurance, you are actually investing for your peace of mind, right? And with a return of premium, the rider, when you are adding, you are investing extra money in that. I would suggest that you should invest that in gold. You should keep in FD, and you will have liquidity, plus you will have better returns than what the premium that is going to come after.
Correct.
30 years.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah. Absolutely.
मतलब मैं क्या बोलता, तुमने मेरे शब्द को छीन के
छीन लिया।
उनको नहीं अच्छी और अच्छी तरीके से चमका के निखरा के चमकीला बना के पेश किया।
Of course.
आपसे बात हो और चमकीले का जिक्र ना हो, कैसे हो सकता है?
Of course.
ओके, ऑल्दो ये क्वेश्चन कई बार आया है एंड दिस आई विल पिक इट अप, बट मैं इसको क्वेश्चन की तरह नहीं, आई विल टेक इट एज अ ऑब्जर्वेशन विच अ फ्यू पीपल हैव स्पोकन एंड कस्टमर्स आल्सो स्पीक. आज ही एक कस्टमर से बात भी हो रही थी. A lot of people think insurance is meant for ailments that they have got. ये सबसे बड़ा मिसनॉमर है, ये सबसे बड़ी आई थिंक मिसगाइडेड मिसाइल है, और ये आई थिंक इनका में हमारे को कुछ करना चाहिए टू क्रिएट अवेयरनेस दैट इंश्योरेंस इज मेंट फॉर healthy people who may have some kind of ailment in future which is unknown to them right now.
Yes.
You may be slightly unhealthy, but the portion which is unhealthy for you will ideally not be covered.
Yes.
If they can be covered, there are waiting periods, or there are sometimes rider which prepone that waiting period.
Yeah.
But insurance is not a charitable institute looking to support you in case of you getting diagnosed of some ailment.
Yeah, and we are
ये बहुत लोगों को एक प्रॉब्लम है.
करेक्ट.
आज ही मेरी बात हो रही थी एक कस्टमर से, एंड ही सेड कि मेरे को तो बुखार भी नहीं होता, मैं हॉस्पिटल भी नहीं जाता, बट मेरी एक बीमारी है, उसके लिए मेरे को इंश्योरेंस चाहिए. अरे भाई, बीमार हो गए हो तो आप इंश्योरेंस नहीं, फिर आप उसको अपने एफडी सेविंग्स प्रोडक्ट से या म्यूचुअल फंड से, जो भी आपका सेविंग्स है उससे कवर करिए.
करेक्ट.
इंश्योरेंस का बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट होता है पूलिंग ऑफ रिस्क. पूलिंग ऑफ रिस्क मीन्स a million people buy a product at 100 rupees. That means 100 million is the corpus that is built. If there are 20 people that get unwell or injured or die or whatever the kind of insurance, then that 100 million is split between those 20 people for those emergencies.
Yes.
ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है जिसको मैं कई बार अपने पॉडकास्ट में और हर तरफ कवर कर चुका हूँ. मेरा से इंश्योरेंस इज द अम्ब्रेला which is available only till the time it's not raining. Once it starts to rain, you do not have that umbrella or the option to buy that umbrella. So it's very important that you take insurance, which now 4 of us understand, but I am through the medium of this camera, through the medium of my podcast, I want to share with everyone. And I've got most customers asking this question on Reddit on मेरी ये बीमारी है, अब इसके लिए मैं कैसे इंश्योरेंस लूँ. I have एट मोस्ट बेसिकली एम्पैथी और सिंपैथी फॉर यू कि आपको हो गई ये एलिमेंट, बट सर आपको या मैम आपको तब लेना चाहिए था जब आपको नहीं थी. एटलीस्ट इंश्योरेंस,
Yes.
यू नो, वी कैन हेल्प यू विद अदर थिंग्स, बट इंश्योरेंस इज अ प्रोडक्ट. एक और क्वेश्चन इसमें अभी है मेरे सामने एंड कई बार और भी आया है रेडिट पे मेरे को, विच सेज कि क्लेम पास नहीं होते हैं, सब चोर है. बट इफ यू लुक एट हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस क्लेम्स, देर आर वे, आई थिंक 99:1 kind of ratio या 98:2 kind of ratio जहाँ डिक्लाइंस हैं.
Yeah, so
पेमेंट्स होते हैं ना तो पता नहीं चलता, जब पेमेंट नहीं हो रहा होता है तो वो कस्टमर्स बोल रहे होते हैं, और उसमें काफ़ी हद तक ये प्रॉब्लम होती है जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर होता है. और ये अभय और मैंने कई अभी केसेस देखे हैं जहाँ एजेंट ने या डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर ने, एक एजेंट को क्यों बोलो, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर कोई भी हो सकता है,
Yeah.
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर ने कस्टमर को बोला एलिमेंट है, आप मत डिक्लेयर करो, ले लो, बाद में छुपा लो, कैसे पता चलेगा? कैसे पता चलेगा इज सच अ बिग पेन. एंड पीपल थिंक कि वो कोई एक किराना की दुकान है, उसको कैसे पता चलेगा कि अरे भैया हजारों करोड़ की इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है, दे हैव देयर सिस्टम, देयर इज डिजिटल डेटा फ्लोइंग, डॉक्टर्स व्हेन दे गिव डिस्चार्ज समरीज, द एंट्री समरी, द सर्जरी समरी, इतनी हिस्ट्री लिखी जाती है, इतना आपकी और चीजें बाहर आती हैं. एंड देयर आर detective agencies that actually look at solving or answering or finding out those things.
yeah.
Sorry, ये हमारे CTO साहब का लैपटॉप है तो कुछ हो गया इसमें, बग नहीं था बट कुछ ना कुछ इनके सिस्टम चलते रहते हैं.
But Vaibhav, I would like to give one data also for
Yes, please.
people who think that insurance is fraud. In 23-24, 84,000 crore worth of claims were paid by health insurance companies.
Correct.
Right? It's a big amount. Right? So insurance is not a fraud. And if you see the reason for claim rejection, the first reason is this non-disclosure, material non-disclosure.
Yeah,
See, if someone had issue in 2014, started buying health insurance policy in 17 or 18 and did not declare in the policy. Now, when suppose there is an issue in the year 2025 and the doctor asks first thing, right? What is the health issue that you have earlier? And you will be declaring, you will not be hiding from the doctor. And the thing the doctor is writing in his sheet will go to insurance company.
Correct.
It's very easy to find out, and then you will find many people complaining that they found something and then they rejected the claim and cancelled the policy.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
इस पे दो क्वेश्चन अभी हैं, आई विल रीड बोथ एंड आई थिंक मैं दोनों को एक साथ हैंडल कर सकता हूँ, ये वापस मेरे लिए हैं. हु वांट्स टू बी द फ्यूचर एंटरप्रेन्योर? मैं कई प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे पूछता हूँ, कई बार पूछता हूँ, ऑफिस में पूछता हूँ, बाहर लोगों से जब मिल रहा होता हूँ. सो इज समथिंग विच वी के ऑफन आस्क्स. सो दिस पर्सन वांट्स टू नो how do you deal with stress that comes with it? How do you handle a team that is remote and trust so much to build them on their own times and build something big? That's one part. And the second part is you speak often about building relationships. मेरे previous पुनीत वाले में भी आया है podcast में. But for young people in their 20s, that makes sense. But some people end up flaunting their network or connections with people whom they whom they cannot even say no to them, even when those people are clearly in the wrong. Do you think it is worth having relationships where you can't speak your true thoughts just to stay in someone's good books? ये थोड़ा सा लंबा बट बहुत ही रेलिवेंट क्वेश्चन है, और मैं कुछ इसमें सटल हिंट्स आ गए हैं. ये मेरा एक रेगुलर इंटरेक्टर ऑन रेडिट है. ओके, first thing quickly on how do I handle stress and remote working culture. Remote working culture, I think Tejesh and Ankit have covered it very well, so I'll not get into that.
Yeah.
It's the same for all of us.
Yes.
With respect to that, adults हैं और सब काम कर रहे हैं बढ़िया. Stress again, Ankit I think spoke pretty well on therapy or groups में talking and things, but here I will also mention one of my podcasts with Samir, Dr. Samir, was about stress busters, and Puneet वाले केस में भी आया है that you need a person or a thing that is your stress buster. It could be singing, performing, it could be surfing, it could be cooking or astrology or maybe defense के बारे में पढ़ना. It could be anything, but you need something. And the best thing which what Puneet said in because आज ही podcast release हुआ है तो शायद आपने देखा नहीं हो. He said, and I'm repeating because some of them may see this but not see that. your friend or the person, and I'm talking of an individual, not thing right now, who is your stress buster, can be of any gender, can be of any age. Don't think that you are of 30s, so that friend has to be of your 30s. It could be a 50-year-old person, it could be a 20-year-old person, it could be a male, it could be a female, or someone who's may not be very particularly aligned to one gender, but there needs to be someone जिसके साथ आप कुछ भी बात कर सको, कभी भी बात कर सको.
Absolutely.
And for three of you, I have mentioned surfing and music and things. For me, because I'm talking, for me it's listening to music. For me, it's about watching a random movie and when I say random movie, not like कुछ भी उठा के देख लिया, but some nice comedy where you don't have to think or focus much. और उसमें बेशक 15 मिनट का क्लिप ही देख लिया या कोई स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी देख ली. So comedy is my relief. So basically, my wife says your coping mechanism is laughing. So I enjoy to laugh. I enjoy to be happy. Second point, building relationships in your 20s and not being able to say no and clearly affecting. Here I would say to this person, in your 20s, build relationships. There would be relationships who would be clearly doing things which are wrong. Please say no.
Yeah.
Distance yourself from people who are doing wrong. There could be people who may be taking advantage of you to a certain extent. When I say advantage, it's because I always say be a giver. Help others. If you're helping and helping and helping and the other person is not reciprocating, that's fine. Because not everyone will be able to reciprocate. Not everyone will have the capability also to reciprocate. Yeah. But help everyone. Out of 100 helps you do in your life, 5 will come back. And those 5 will give you such a bumper help that will be way more than what you would have given to those 100. If there's anyone who's wrong, if there's anyone who's doing something ethically, morally corrupt, distance yourself. Because ultimately, I think कल रात को अपनी जब बात चल रही थी, बात यही थी कि जो आपका नाम है, आपकी इमेज है, आपका रुतबा है, आपका whatever the thing you're building will take decades to be built. And it takes 1 second for the image to be over.
Yes.
तो आप अपने आप को, in fact, when I quit my previous organization, I moved out very randomly and two other founders, actually 3 co-founders moved out. One of the primary reason was this. There were things which were being done, which are being done, maybe still I don't know, which did not meet me or my ethical limits the right way. Yeah. So sometimes you have to put your foot down, but that's not about giving. So when I say that build relationships in your 20s, I'm saying build relationships that you're giving. So if there are 3 people sitting in front of me who are in their 20s, keep on giving each other. Do something more. And simple thing, you are aware because you started the journey, then Tejesh and Ankit are also part of the journey now. People on my cap table, everyone actually has joined me, barring Satish, who came in slightly later in my life, but it was also mid-30s.
Yeah.
Who joined me in my life journey in my 20s. And ऐसा नहीं उनके लिए मैं कुछ कर रहा हूँ, all of them are super powerful and things, but it was just that I did something good for them somewhere, which got recognized, and it came back in a good way. So that's it from my side. That's been a very long answer, but a very important one.
Yes.
We'll wrap it up. Last 30 seconds to everyone. When we hit the next benchmark, what is it that you wish to do in your personal life? So leave professional aside. What is it that you aspire to be when we exit this room, this office area? What is it that you want to do? Big.
Most of you know
life.
what I want to do.
But others
love
don't know.
to travel. Definitely love to travel again. Take my bag, leave my laptop, and go for a long 6-7 months of travel and then come back.
And without the laptop.
And the smartphone as well.
Oh wow.
Smartphone, laptop off, and then I want to be reachable to family, so phone चाहिए होगा.
Normal phone.
Normal phone.
Nokia 3310 types.
And then I generally used to come back when money runs out. This time, hopefully, if you're saying it's a big exit, it might be longer travel for me. But then, yes.
Abhay, whenever we make size, as founders, none of us make money.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't mention this, but as founders, because we don't draw salaries or we draw negligible salaries compared to what we would have drawn, that was the inspiration for Inkapreneur.
Yes.
Which has been actually phenomenally received by people across the industry. I was shocked the kind of leads we are getting on Inkapreneur and the actually excitement that we are seeing on Inkapreneur. Whenever we have money, or if you have money sizable, what is it that you want to do in your life? When money is not the reason, let me put it that way. If money was there in the bank account, what would you want to do?
Yeah, so I really love Royal Enfield.
Okay.
And I had Royal Enfield Classic 500 in my like 2013, 14 during that time. Now I know Classic 650 has come. And once I have money, of course, I would like to buy and I would like to drive it all around.
Lovely. So you can sit behind him for 6 months, go around the country. Ankit, same question to you.
So what's the like what are we talking about? Are we talking about 8 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 1 year down the line?
Assuming tomorrow we hit a jackpot and you have got money. I don't know what we will do after 8 years, but if if money was not the binding factor
Yeah.
for us.
I think I don't have any material wishes, so to say.
Sure.
I love singing and performing.
Correct.
I can do that with my current responsibilities as well, right?
Yeah.
I love watching movies. I can do that. I might want to angel invest if maybe get into that habit of giving back to the community,
Right.
which I'm already doing, but maybe at a larger scale. This is what I plan to do. I don't have a material wish, so to say.
काफी मटेरियल थी ये अपना फंड खोलेंगे
हाँ बिल्कुल
हाँ एंजल से he'll get into the
the bigger
family
picture
office.
yeah
Bareja and Sons
Not bad. Sounds very old school also. Haldirams.
हल्दीराम का क्या वैल्यूएशन हुआ है भैया अभी इतना वैल्यूएशन हो गया कि आई थिंक उसको पीवी अब चाहिए होगा छोटे मोटे इन्वेस्टर से काम भी नहीं होगा awesome
But yeah, the idea is to make Inka world class, make it really big.
Absolutely. वो ये सारे सपने तभी पूरे होंगे when we are world class, really big, and we have a decent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But super happy to share this. मेरे से किसी ने पूछा नहीं, मैं भी अपना सपना
Please go ahead, please.
हाँ, काफी मतलब अपनी ढोल पे पीटे जा रहा हूँ काफी देर से मैं, so
Very self-aware.
succinct way में
And we are very ignorant. हमने छोड़ दिया
सब.
में था.
हाँ, but एम यही है कि अगर इफ आई हैव सफिशिएंट मनी किसी अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी में जाऊं और फिर से वापस पढ़ाई करूं.
yes.
That is what I think we've had a discussion.
We have had a discussion. I was waiting, आप बोलो आप तो फंड ने खोल दिया आपने अपना.
I forgot.
मैं सोचा था अपन दोनों चलेंगे इसकी इनफील्ड के साइड में वो गाड़ी लगा के 4 पहिया
तेरा गम मेरा गम
तेरा गम ये मेरे को हॉस्टल छोड़ेगा. इस बार बड़े वाले हॉस्टल में होंगे जहाँ रूम खत्म होते मतलब शुरू होते खत्म ना हो
और एसी होंगे hostel.
और एसी हो हॉस्टल में. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
I want to do a PhD in behavioral science.
Oh,
Hopefully.
lovely.
Can we do it remotely?
You can. I don't know, but I would want to go to a university.
Yeah. Okay.
बट मेरे ब्रांड को तुम किल करने में लगे रहते हो.
अरे हाँ.
हाँ नहीं हर तरफ
Yes.
हर तरफ इनका दिखना चाहिए. किनका इनका. बट हैविंग सेड दैट मैं पीएचडी तो नहीं सोचा बिकॉज आई थिंक पीएचडी के लिए जो पेशेंस चाहिए वो आप में है मेरे में नहीं.
मेरे में है.
आई विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ स्मॉल कोर्सेज. मेरी कैपेसिटी टू स्टे एक्साइटेड and comes to all these kind of things is a shorter duration. मैं सेल्स वाला ना फटाफट क्लोज के आगे चलो. So I have a lot of papers more around liberal arts, maybe history, maybe
Nice.
political science, maybe something. And one day a lot of people ask me कि political party क्यों नहीं शुरू करते. तो उसके बारे में करूँगा नहीं. उसके बाद मैं स्टडी की how political parties का evolution हुआ, उसके courses and things like that. It's super interesting.
Yes.
That's also a part of actually behavioral science.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it. Thanks a lot, Abhay.
Thank you Vaibhav.
Thank you, Ankit.
Thank you, Abhay.
Thank you, Tejesh.
Thanks, Vaibhav.
And
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers.